We now have official confirmation from the terrifying Lunar Classic development team of the 1.2% burn date. Everything you need to know for this outing will be covered in this video. This is a massive movie with a ton of new information, from the total number of tokens that will be burned to our potential price points. You won't want to miss this one if you value classics. Okay, to get down to brass tacks, the date in question is probably the 20th of September, give or take a few days. Surely at this point it has been started on the chain. The code has been updated to V22, which explains the dramatic rise in price. Everyone is anticipating when it will be eventually put on chain. The question is, when will that occur? We will begin the ritualistic burning of Binance. Therefore, September 20th has been established once more. As we had anticipated a September 12th date, this is a little bit later than we had hoped. That's the way it was originally written into the program. There are, however, distinct stages to the burn. When it comes to the 12th of September, we're first. It appears that we will have the burn enabled on the blockchain, but at a rate of 0%. Tokens will not be physically destroyed. Instead, as you can see in the code, we propose a change to one of the parameters. In this request, we propose updating the code so that the burn amount can be changed to any value. This time around, it will be 1.2%. And as you can see here, given the current state of the applications, a parameter change proposal will be created on or before September 10th. Just a few days before we will get the burn on the blockchain, provided, of course, that a tax burn should pass AG. This parameter change proposal, which of course it will pass with absolutely no problem. If all goes according to plan, on or about September 20th, activation epoch 94 will occur at a block height of 9,475,200. This is the day the burn is recorded in the ledger. However, we are aware that the majority of a classic trade volume occurs off-chain, with Binance controlling about half of all trillion classic bytes bought or sold. And if you want to burn tokens, you should only do so on centralized exchanges where the vast bulk of transactions and trading volume occurs from A to Z. Then Edward Kim lays out the steps for Binance and the other controlled exchanges. We can deduce from this that they didn't burn for on-chain transactions and that they needed more information about the burn, right? In any case, we then got more details from Binance in this release addressing the upgrade. And in this it was indicated that they will be upgrading for the proposal 3, 5, 6, 8, which is the 1.2% burn, as Edward Kim goes on to state. We must maintain pressure on these key exchanges and make it clear to them that we, as a community, want the burn. Binance and the other major exchanges MHC have indicated that this will occur within a few days of the proposal's update, most likely on or around September 20. We know that KuCoin and perhaps Crypto.com will likewise update their code and perform the 1.2% burn. Any on-chain transactions will have 1.2% of their value transferred to a burn wallet, which will be handled manually. The opposite is true for controlled exchanges like Binance, where all transactions take place off-chain because they don't support on-chain transactions. They will physically deduct 1.2% from each trade and wire it to the appropriate parties. If that's the case, this seems like the plan. It's not totally confirmed, but the 1.2% tax paid by all traders for a given day or hour is delivered to a single wallet and burned. As previously said, the complete amount of turnaround classic is sent to the burn wallet. For example, on Binance at regular intervals, every hour, every day, every month. Even if there is only $1 billion in transactions, which seems to be a bit more than that right now, 1.2% of $1 billion, or however high the numbers, will likely be in the tens of billions. Every single day will be forwarded to the central burn wallet, which is sure to become a classic. If we all want to see this price grow, what kind of burn numbers could we be doing on September 20 with this block? We know that if we ever hope to achieve greater price targets, we need to reduce the circulating supply from the trillions down into the billions, if not the hundreds of billions. Now that we have a ballpark estimate of when the burn will take place, we can quantify the current volume of transactions taking place on the blockchain amidst all the buzz and fear of missing out. What is the burn number that we will be hitting? And we know that big exchanges like Binance do appear to be applying the ban from all the messages and confirmation we've seen. Our calculations, done at a lower pricing point, will result in a somewhat different final price. But since our current daily transaction volume is over $3 billion, 2.7 billion, we'll have to call it a day before we go up in flames. When the slight price difference is factored in, anywhere from 100 to 125 quadrillion classic would be burned and mailed to the burn address per day, thus removing them from circulation. As a result, you should expect to see roughly $3.50, $3.50 trillion per month. That would cut the total amount in circulation in half during the first month. This, of course, is predicated on the price remaining stable, as we would be able to sell back and acquire fewer tokens if the price rose without an accompanying rise in the amount of daily transactions. As a result, the pain may lessen. The annualized figures are even more mind-boggling, reaching upwards of $54 trillion. But again, this is predicated on the unrealistic assumption that prices will never rise. But the numbers we're seeing here suggest that if all goes well, we can keep the volume above the billions mark and the price from skyrocketing too much if we get that ban implemented on-chain and around about September 20 by announcing these other major exchanges start implementing the ban manually off the blockchain. We need to torch zillions of dollars worth of horror in a classic, and we can do so by betting on the SEC. Within the first month of the burn, there will be a clean supply of Lunar Classic. Naturally, once again, I anticipate a price hike after the ban goes into effect. Since the price is expected to rise, I estimate that it will be between 1 and 2 trillion in the first month, and possibly not higher than 3. Not sure if the volume will reach the $10 billion per day we require, but we can certainly anticipate some large burns in the near future. Furthermore, we have absolute confirmation that the flames will soon be upon us. Those back and forths are inevitable, and we know it. Staking is a huge component of the ecosystem restoration process, which we can begin once again at this point in our roadmap, which I will discuss in further detail in the subsequent video with regards to repadding the moon to the Earth. And it will assist maintain current volume instead of reversing course and falling below 100 million as the FOMO fades. Even if daily transaction volume is between $1 billion and $500 million, we would still be burning trillions of Terra in the Classic each year, allowing us to reach our long-term price target of burning about 90 to 95% of the circulating supply. That, plus a price trigger, plus blockchain utility, and a bull run in cryptocurrencies, may be the perfect storm for a crypto market turnaround for Terra Classic. However, it appears that the 20th of September will be the final, official date. The 1.2% cap is scheduled to be live on September 12th. According to the code, changes will be made to that code. In any case, as I mentioned before, on September 20th, it will be formally fixed to the amount, or set to 1.2%. Mark your calendars for that time and date. That's the kind of romantic outing